Hello dear students, welcome to the lecture on measurements and instrumentation. Today we'll be discussing about Hall effect multipliers. So this Hall effect was first noticed by E.H. Hall in 1879, where a voltage is generated along the width of a current carrying conductor exposed to a perpendicular magnetic field. So here you can see that you have a current carrying conductor which is a flat piece of conductor and you are sending the current through it. You are also applying a magnetic field in a perpendicular direction to the direction of the current, and you can see that a potential difference is created or a voltage is being created in a direction which is perpendicular to both electric current as well as the magnetic field. So such a phenomena is known as Hall effect. So the potential difference that is produced is proportional to the product of magnetic field strength as well as the current that is flowing. The whole voltage that is produced also depends on the nature of the conductor that you take, the thickness of the conductor, the length of the conductor, the shape of the conductor, etc. Now, for a normal conductor, this effect may not be that prominent, and it is more pronounced in semiconductors like germanium, then gallium, arsenide, etc. So, such type of materials can explain the Hall effect in a better manner. Okay. Now this is an animation which shows the Hall effect. So here you can see that you have a voltage being applied across this particular conductor, and you are now applying a magnetic field. So once a magnetic field is applied, the majority carriers or the carriers that results in the current flow are shifted to one of the directions, one of the positions. It is shifted away from its normal position and it is being repelled away towards a particular direction. And once we reverse the magnetic field, you can see that the reverse happens. So the current will be reversing. There you can see that an external voltmeter is also connected, which detects the voltage that is generated. So here you can see that voltmeter is there, which indicates the direction of the this potential that is produced. So once you reverse the magnetic field, the reverse effects happens. So such a phenomena can be explained as a Hall effect. Now, how can you use this Hall effect as a multiplier for power measurement? So here you can see that this pink color thing is this is your conductor, and you are applying a voltage across this conductor. Okay. So once you need to measure the power, you need two components, voltage as well as the current. So here you can see that this blue color circuit, so this circuit carries the current which is proportional to the load. Okay, it is carrying the load current. Now once it is carrying the load current, you are placing some coils which generate some magnetic field. So you'll have some magnetic field generated in this particular perpendicular direction from top to bottom or bottom to top, in this direction. Now this orange color circuit shows the voltage circuit, where your voltage is applied across this particular conductor. So you can see that a voltage proportional to AC source voltage is applied across this, and you will have some current resistive multiplier. R multiplier is provided to limit the current through this, and this green circuit shows the output that is being measured. So you will get a voltage across this which is perpendicular to the direction of the current as well as the direction of magnetic field. You will have current in this direction and you will have magnetic field in this direction. So voltage will be in this direction, which is perpendicular to both the current as well as the magnetic field. Now the output will be proportional to the product of two input signals. So here the input signals, when you explain it with the reference to the whole conductor, the input signals are current and the magnetic field. The magnetic field in turn will be depending on the current that is flowing, and the current through this multiplier or through this orange circuit will be proportional to the voltage that is there. So in turn it will be this voltage that is produced will be depending on the values of voltage as well as the current. Now it is also known as because it generates an output, an electrical signal which represents the power. So here we are not getting power directly, we are getting the output in terms of voltage. So now you have to calibrate your meter in such a way that it indicates power. You are getting voltage and this voltage will be equivalent to some value of power. Now it gives the instantaneous value of power, that is at each instant what is the power that is consumed in a particular source. Okay, it is not like in a normal meter you will have which dials where you will have pointers. So depending on the value of the power that is consumed, the pointer will be deflecting. So instead of that deflection, here you can see that the output voltage will be changing. So it is an electrical signal and that varies depending on the instantaneous value of voltage, that instantaneous value of power that is there in the circuit. Now the output voltage of the Hall effect multiplier can be termed something like this: VH, voltage of Hall effect is multiplier is equal to KH IP B by T, where KH is a Hall coefficient, B is the flux density, and T is the small letter T is the thickness of the Hall element, and IP is the current that is flowing through that Hall conductor. Now your flux density is proportional to the current that is flowing in that particular coil. Okay, once the current increases, flux density also varies, and IP is proportional. IP, that is the current that is flowing in that particular conductor, is proportional to the voltage. So that is equal to V by RS. RS is your multiplier resistance that limits the current. So in that circuit you are having some voltage applied across it, and the IP will be proportional to voltage. Now in turn you can write your Hall effect voltage VH is proportional to V into I, or VI, which is the instantaneous value of power that is consumed in that particular circuit. So the output voltage of the multiplier is proportional to the instantaneous power. So if you know the voltage, you can say that equivalent amount of power is flowing. So what we do is that you will be getting the values in terms of voltage. So you will be scaling this particular voltage with a factor, with some factor, and ultimately you will be getting the power. Okay, so your voltage can be in turn scaled and represented in terms of power. Now the few advantages that we can think of while using this Hall effect multiplier as a wattmeter are: first one is that instantaneous power is obtained in terms of voltage, and the voltmeter can be calibrated to measure power. So since it is like electronic signals, it can be directly provided to analog voltmeter as well as a digital voltmeter. Okay, so if it is provided to digital voltmeter, it will be indicating in terms of the digits, and if it is an analog voltmeter, it will be indicating in terms of the pointer movement. So anyway it can be calibrated in order to indicate the power. Again, one of the most important factors that we need to consider is that it could be used as a control signal, the output voltage, because in a normal wattmeter you are getting a pointer deflection. It is just indicating the power that is consumed. You are not able to use this particular measured value for any further use, further application. You are just getting a deflection. But here what happens is that you are getting a signal, voltage signal. Now this voltage signal can be amplified, it can be fed to some other circuits for controlling the power that is consumed in this particular circuit. So such many things can be done once you get this particular power in terms of a voltage. So that voltage can be used as a control signal. Again, these meters can be used to measure. You can have multiple meters connected to measure instantaneous powers at different points in the circuit. Just like a wattmeter, you can have multiple Hall effect meters connected so that it measures instantaneous power at different points in the circuit. Now another thing that you need to remember is that it measures the instantaneous power, not the average power. Okay, so at every instant it gives the power. Suppose you are trying to measure the power that is consumed in a purely inductive coil. So in a purely inductive coil, what happens? You'll have a voltage okay, and your current will be lagging behind the voltage by 90 degrees in a purely inductive circuit. So once you instantaneously multiply it at some of the points, you will be getting the power as 0. Okay, and in all other points you will be getting a fluctuating power. You will have a positive value at certain regions, you will have negative value at certain regions. Average power is 0, but instantaneous power will be positive for certain times and it will be negative for certain times, because you will have power flow from your source to inductor and back. You will have a fluctuation of power, so that will be indicated here also, and at certain times you will have 0 power. So in such a way, and once you give this output to a voltmeter, it gives the actual value of power that is consumed in DC form, average value. Okay, if we are giving this particular output to a DC voltmeter, it gives the average value of power that is consumed. So in that way, you can indicate your power just by changing the scale. You have to put a new scale. Instead of a voltage scale, you have to put a power scale, a calibrated scale, and that scale will be indicating the power that is consumed. So instantaneous value of power is being measured. Okay, if it is a purely resistive circuit, how will it work? So in a purely resistive circuit, your current as well as the voltage are in phase. So always you will be having, when you instantaneously multiply this, you will be getting positive values. So it always shows the positive value. So in such a way you can indicate the, so this is voltage and current. So in such a way we can indicate the value of power in terms of simple voltage, which can be further used as a control signal, or rather it can be used as an indicating signal for indicating the power, that is instantaneous value of power that is consumed in the circuit. So that is how this Hall effect multiplier works as a wattmeter. Thank you.